Most people with any device containing a microchip and an internet connection will have heard of League of Legends, but not many people know what it is. Well, that's what the next insert number of minutes will be about. Ready? Let's go! League of Legends is an amazing game made by Riot Games with a lot of backstory, too many characters, items that keep changing, and a lot, and I mean a lot of microtransactions. The game takes place on a magical floating island called Summoner's Rift that has been so violated with magic after countless battles, therefore terraforming the land, attracting powerful monsters and creating the monstrosity known as Baron Nashor, unless you're weird and play ARAM or random mid, in which case it takes place in the Howling Abyss. It can also take place in the Crystal Scar or Twisted Tree Line. I might get to those, I might not. Spoiler alert, I won't. How do you play, I hear you ask? Well, League of Legends is like a really complicated game of tug of war, but instead of pulling, you push up any of the 3 lanes with your mindless minions that suicide towers help you win and give the enemy gold to go punch their nexus in its tiny crystalline face. But the problem is that the people on the other team are trying to do the same, but we love our nexus so we protect it. Also because I think the world ends or something if the nexus explodes. Or at least, oh well, I don't know. How do we get to the nexus? Well, we punch these things. These are towers, and when you kill them you get money, which you spend on other items for more tower punching power. Some characters are very good at killing towers, and some aren't as effective, and we'll go more into better tower killers later. On the map there is also a jungle where innocent creatures such as Lord Megatoad, Blue Rock, Edgy Dogs, Chicken Bastard, Red Tumbleweed, Mega Turtles, and Snail Crab sit and wait to be murdered for money and experience. There are also 5 types of dragon, the all-seeing snail crab that gives you a buff that only works when you're lonely, and a massive tentacle monster called Baron Nashor, or Bron as it's referred to by some members of the League community. By killing Blue Rock or Red Tumbleweed, one person will receive a buff, whoever gets the last hit. The red buff gives some health regen, and when you hit an opponent they burn and are slowed. The blue buff gives mana regen and ability cooldown. If you kill Baron or a dragon you receive a buff to your whole team, and these buffs can control a game. The dragons, Earth, Water, Fire and Air, give you small permanent buffs, and the Elder Dragon that only appears after 35 minutes increases these buffs by 50%.
Right.
The Baron gives you attack damage and ability power, a recall that only lasts half the time, and Mega Minions. There are 136 characters currently in League of Legends, and we brought them down to certain roles, and although we put them into these roles, it doesn't mean they can't play somewhere else. There are 3 types of damage: attack, magic, and true. Attack damage is reduced by armor, magic damage is reduced by magic resist, and true damage is reduced by nothing, so you just want to get more health against it. You can only deal true damage with red buff, earth dragon, or if it's in your character's kit. Kit means their abilities. You can increase attack damage, magic damage, and armor and magic resist, as well as health by buying items. There are other stats that I will address later. I'm sorry for lying. In the game there are 5 positions. Lonely isolated wildcards who sit and squabble alone until one of them starts winning, but the thing is, the top players are usually really large and strong people who try to pulverize each other, so the fights tend to look like this. Everyone tends to forget that top lane exists, which is a really bad idea as a strong top laner can fight your whole team and win the game single-handedly.
What the fuck?
Another thing top laners do really well is crowd control, CC for short, which is basically anything that impairs an enemy such as a stun or knockup. Here is an example of a perma stun or a stun lock.
Get it.
Dun 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 dun. Teleports into a boulder.
That on. Oh my god, they could not move.
Ah yes, junglers, my bread and butter. The merciless monsters who kill innocent creatures for their money and experience, unless you're Ivan. Our job varies depending on who we are playing. If you're playing someone like Master Yi, you farm until you can kill the whole enemy team. If you're playing someone like Shaco, you run around and kill enemy laners repeatedly to the point where they're afraid to leave base. And if you're playing someone like my boy Rammus, then you do a mixture of both early on, but in the late game you just protect people or make the enemy's backline's life a living hell. You have mid laners. These people are one of your main damage dealers. They will usually be an AP caster whose main goal is to deal consistent damage to the enemy team, or they are an AD assassin who make you afraid to even move due to the fact that they can insta-kill you. My favourite mid laner is Cogmore. Even though he is an ADC, I prefer him as magic damage, as he is a combination of a dog, an alien, and a gun that fires acid. It's like Kirby swallowed an artillery cannon and is coming to make your day much worse. You have the dumbest double act, bot laners. In bot you have two people, the support and the ADC. ADC stands for attack damage carry, meaning that most of the damage they do will be attack damage, but that also means they are your tower killing power. Their main goal is to deal damage mainly through basic attacking. The problem with them, however, is that they sink all their money to damage and no tank stats, and they are also highly position reliant, meaning if they are out of position they will be killed instantly without being able to do much damage. This is where supports come in. ADCs don't do much damage at the start of the game because they don't have any items, so they're reliant on their supports. Supports are very good at a lot of things such as absorbing damage, negating damage, healing, shielding, buffing, crowd control, disruption, escaping and repositioning. Supports will build support items. We really need to have a conversation with the naming department, such as items that buff allies, debuff enemies and heal allies. Because they commonly have what is known as an active effect, meaning that it does something when you push a button, so the stats aren't the size of other items but are still just as useful. Although this usually falls to support, you can also buy wards. There are some free trinkets that have special effects but usually don't affect a fight. In League there is something called the Fog of War, and that just means the stuff you can't see. Wards are little totems that show you what is in an area around it. These are very important as the element of surprise is very powerful. History time! On the 3rd of July 2002, a game called Warcraft 3 was released, and because people wanted to vent their creativity, mods were creative, one of these being Dota, Defense of the Ancients. This was the first MOBA of its kind, and MOBAs were nearly forgotten as a genre until some people, Brendan Beck and Mark Merrill, the founders of Riot Games, decided that this was good enough to be its own game and genre, and that was the birth of League of Legends. It started off with only 40 characters, which pales in comparison to the current too many. Why is it good? The game is good for a few reasons. It has infinite replay value because with that many characters, it's difficult to get the same ones multiple times in a row, because each individual is kind of similar, even though none of them are ever the same. They fade into an overall experience rather than a series of individual memories, and thankfully, the experience is a positive one. Just as a disclaimer, you do get some specific memories, but those are very special moments. Another reason this game is good is that it's perfect for playing with friends, whether you want to play like a SWAT squad with a clear, concise strategy and crisp communication, or just run in like idiots and laugh at each other's failures until you see that defeat screen.
Oh, damn. Oh, poor you Kazakhs. It's everything. Go for it, Jack. And I was gonna jump. But 20 quid went back down. Oh, you found him. Oh,
You don't have his ultimate.
Use the front. No balls. Oh shit. Oh,
The League community gets a bad rap due to the people on League of Legends who just cry when things don't go their way, but have no fear, these people are 12 years old and insecure and have extreme anger issues. Thankfully, Riot had the foresight to give the players abilities to mute other players so that you don't have to look at them bawling into their keyboards. The community has many devoted content creators, from artists to cosplayers to YouTubers, so if you ever get tired of playing, you can watch other people play the game and make various costumes and whatever you really fancy. League of Legends also gets taken to conventions like PAX and Insomnia, and it brings the game stars with it, so if you ever want to meet any of your favourite YouTubers, then you can. Why is it bad? Now, the game isn't without flaws, and as I said before, there are the people who ruin the game with their incessant crying, and while you can mute them, you can't stop them from ruining the game by repeatedly killing themselves to give the enemies an impossible to beat advantage, because the game is unjust. Riot does their best to ban these people with the report system, but it doesn't stop the game from being ruined. Another thing that can ruin the game is that negative experiences like losing streaks and trolls can build up and make you not want to play anymore. Something that you have to keep in mind is that these bad parts won't last forever. Esports are currently taking the internet by storm and are getting more and more popular. People are taking strides to make it an official sport, so much so that an American sports company played a League of Legends professional game on their channels, even though it was to much outrage. Esports is also helping to keep production going for various companies, as esports brings in a lot of money as well as gives it out, as the prize that people can get can be a bit absurd. The highest League of Legends prize pool is 5.7 million. So yeah, that's League. It isn't perfect, but it's definitely fun and worth a shot if you'd be bothered. There is a place, character, and playstyle for everyone to enjoy, whether or not you want to fight the enemy all on your own, or if you want to protect your friends, then do so. Well, that's all I have to say. There's lots more about the game, but I don't have the time or script writing skills to be able to tell you everything about the game. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.